We should also talk about some other news and notes. Well, maybe it's more of a rumor. Mike is addressing the rumor here. He says, really excited to see what's next for the former WWE and TNA World Champion Bobby Lashley. I think he's AEW bound. What do you think, Double J? I even asked JR that question last week. We talked about all the free agents in wrestling, and that clip got a little bit of play today. I saw on social media where people are saying, hey, what would that look like? Bobby Lashley in AEW. Do you think we're going to get some surprises at Arthur Ashe?
So, that's a good question. Now, again, I'm on the outside looking in on so many things as it relates to creative and talent and all that. That would be a fantastic, man, dude. Conrad, you're on fire tonight here on this My World Special Grand Slam preview. The surprise in New York City with Lashley would be interesting, but I tell you what, Bobby in his career has come a long way, and it goes without saying. I was a huge fan of his going way back the TNA days. We'll call it the Impact Anthem days, and certainly today. But man, he would be a fantastic addition. I'll say that. Super athletic, looks great, carries himself like a champion, and from bell to bell, he can get it done.
Obviously, I'm unplugged. You can tell from my background. I'm not in my studio. I don't really have any inside information. I'm just freestyling. But hypothetically,
you look great.
Hypothetically, Jeff.
Oh boy.
What if after Jericho's match, he starts cutting a promo, and out comes another faction of three, maybe, perhaps, jaw-jacking a little bit with Jericho? I think the internet wrestling community would go bananas to see MVP running down Chris Jericho. If there's any smoke to that, or fire to that smoke, the rumor and innuendo that maybe Bobby Lashley is going to do something with AEW. If MVP is there, if Shelton Benjamin's there, boy, this could look pretty interesting in a hurry, couldn't it?
I got your learning tree for you. I'm going to send it under Conrad Thompson's learning tree on this My World YouTube special. Very interesting, though, Connie, when you kind of drill it down that way.
I mean, we don't know what's going to happen. We're not trying to give any spoilers. I'm just saying there is a little bit of chatter about Lashley, and it's like, if you're going to do something, where would he fit? And boy, that could be interesting, because as I look, it's like, all right, it's Big Bill, it's Keith, and it's Jericho. There's three. Well, I just need three on the other. Okay, maybe we'll see. We're all going to see on Wednesday before the curtain falls at Dynamite for a big Grand Slam show at Arthur Ashe. We're going to, well, I guess everybody at home, I don't know how much you'll get to see. The 6-part documentary about Vince McMahon is going to come out on Netflix this Wednesday. So this Wednesday is a real big damn day in wrestling. You get all 6 parts of the Netflix series during the day. I assume it'll come out at midnight. I don't know, maybe first thing Wednesday morning. But Wednesday evening, it's going to be all about Arthur Ashe. It's going to be a hell of a Wednesday. But Vince McMahon did something that we haven't seen him do in a long, long time today. He tweeted for the first time in over 18 months.
What you got?
I wanted to get your response to what he wrote here on Twitter or X. And, well, I can't read that. But there it is. There's the statement from Vince. And it's not typical that we see him respond to anything. He's sort of the king of the no sell. That's what we've heard about his reputation. You know, there is no sick, blah, blah, blah. Do you expect some damage control from the former chairman, or what do you think is going to happen?
Put that back up there, Dave. I'm going to just kind of, I won't read the whole thing, but as I'm making sure I'm reading it. Okay. The last line, Conrad, and I know your screen's a little off as you sit down on the beach and sip pina coladas and listen to the waves. I hope we're not bothering you too bad on this Monday night. I hope the viewer will keep an open mind and remember that there are 2 sides to every story. Well, Connie, I'm going to kind of contradict that statement. I think there's always 3 sides.
I've heard that.
I do. You know, what is fascinating about all of this is, as we've stated on My World Pod, the timing of it, and now being released on a Wednesday. Does Netflix usually release new episodes on Wednesdays. I'm not the biggest Netflix watcher. It's interesting that they're releasing it on a Wednesday. The timing of it is very, very interesting. But
what I'm interested in, Jeff, I don't mean to cut you off, is
go ahead.
the idea that we heard from Vince, because we haven't heard from
Yeah,
Vince for a long time
I'm
about any of this.
processing this real time.
And as we're all sort of processing this together, the one thing I think we as wrestling fans, because we're on the outside looking in, is that the WWE, and maybe more specifically Vince McMahon, has always sort of, for lack of a better word, controlled the narrative.
Yep.
You know, so to the victor go the spoil. So when we're talking about the Monday Night Wars, we're always going to have a WWF slant. I get that. But now he doesn't really have that platform. It's not like he has a whole production studio. It's not like he's producing, 5 or 8 hours of television every week. He doesn't just have free reign to post whatever he wants on Peacock or the WWE Network or the WWE website. So I'm curious, do you think there is a possibility that Vince, because he has the capacity to do it, I mean, Kevin Dunn's available, I would imagine, and it's not like he can't write a check to make this happen. Do you think that Vince will have some sort of a production response, not just a statement, but will there be another video that Vince McMahon produces that sort of shares that, or do you think we let it play out through the legal system first?
You brought I still go tweet, but you brought the post. That's today. You said it's over 18 months. The history that I know personally, personally, the world really knows. He never takes anything laying down at all. He's going to, yes, he controlled the narrative when he ran the organization, but now he obviously doesn't. And he understands as well or better than anybody, Netflix's number one goal, and I don't say only one goal, but number one goal is to get as many streams as possible. What's WWE's goal at this current time? Where do they sit on it? Well, we know Vince obviously does wants to I don't say protect his name, but to tell his side of the story. Well, it's like he said, there's two sides to every story. I'm going to say there's three sides. There's there's Vince's version, there's Netflix's version, and then somewhere out there, there's going to be the truth, maybe even lost in it all. But like you said, I think it goes without saying, him posting today is a definite sign that he's just not going to let this.
He's getting out in front of it to do damage control.
Well, I'm not. I mean, I don't. Yeah. Okay. So getting out in front of it, I think I'm going to wordsmith with you. At the end of the day, he's punching back, and this is certainly not the first, and it won't be the last.
It's going to be interesting. It's what we're all going to be talking about on Wednesday. That is until the bright lights get kicked on at Arthur Ashe. We're going to be talking about it here on YouTube as well. I'm going to get Jeff's response and reaction. Jeff, as you heard him say, is not a big Netflixer, but he is a wrestling junkie. So if I had to bet, I would bet that over the next week or so, the old Double J is going to find 6 hours to go knock this series out. And we will be back here at myworldpod.com. So if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, turn on the notifications bell, because I know you're going to be watching it too. And if you've got a question you want to ask Jeff, be sure to be live with us and jot that down.